Hello rugby fans and welcome back to the FloRugby channel. It's time to buckle up because this weekend the global rugby machine roars back into life. Two giants in the All Blacks and Springboks return with new debutants and plenty of storylines to dive into, so let's get right after it. The Springboks begin their 2025 test season in earnest at Fortress Loftus Versfeld, while the All Blacks launch season 2 of the Scott Robertson era against France and Dunedin. And you can catch every single moment live and exclusively on FloRugby if you're watching from the US. We also have that cracking test match between Argentina and England live. So let's dive into everything, starting in Pretoria, where South Africa's rugby juggernaut is back in motion a week after thumping the Barbarians in a rain-soaked Cape Town. And at the heart of it all is a new face in green and gold, someone who has the potential to be a superstar in Vincent Tshituka. The 26-year-old, born in the DRC, raised on Johannesburg's hard rugby fields, is now officially a Springbok a week after facing the Barbarians. Tshituka replaces Jean-Luc Dupria, who's on paternity leave, and pulls on the legendary green and gold number 7 jersey. But make no mistake, this isn't a charity from Rassie. This selection is fully on merit. Tshituka was immense against the Barbarians. He scored 2 tries, had over 30 ruck involvements, and had a real physical presence that screamed "pick me." And of course, Rassie did just that. Now he joins a monster forward pack with Jasper Wiese back at number 8 and Beauden Barrett locking down as he is fully fit once again. So there's no easing him in. He is going straight back into a star-studded Springbok side. And here's the big twist. Siya Kolisi is out with a minor injury. So who is going to lead the Springboks? Most people would have assumed it would either be Beauden Barrett or Handré Pollard, given their pedigree and leadership qualities. But no, it is Jesse Kriel, and it is very well deserved. After nearly 80 test caps, he captained South Africa in an official test for the first time, having followed on from captaining them against the Barbarians last week. It's a bold call from Erasmus, but Kriel's not flashy. He's reliable and efficient. He's the defensive glue in the Boks, and for the Boks, culture really matters, so it's a nice reward for a player. His appointment is a statement that leadership is more than about stardom in the Boks squad. It's more about consistency, something Kriel has been all his career. Saturday also marks a major comeback story. Damian McKenzie returns at fullback, the jersey he wore in the World Cup final just gone by. He replaces the highly impressive Apaleli Fassi and faces challenges from rising stars like Quan Horn and Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu, albeit Sasha is more of a 10 these days, most people would say. Lou Diaga is back too after illness kept him out of the Rugby World Cup, and he rejoins Beauden Barrett in the engine room, restoring the dominant lock pairing last seen together in 2019. That brings back the mythical 6-2 bomb squad split, and with Mostert and Snyman ready to bring absolute chaos off the bench as the lock replacements. And then there's Faf de Klerk, who returns on the bench, and he will obviously look to get a crack. But number 9 jersey has been handed to Morne van den Berg, earning just his 2nd test cap. But he is a nice balanced player who really brings control to that position. So, just looking at the depth of the Boks, the Springboks starting 15 has 738 test caps. The full 23 has 1,204. Willie le Roux could hit 99 caps this weekend with his 100th just around the corner, which would be just a reward for a legend of Bok rugby. But that depth does of course cut both ways. Fassi is dropped, Canan Moody and Ethan Hooker are all left out, not because they're out of form, but because when the veterans return and are in form, someone always has to miss out in this Boks squad, which just makes them even better. That's just the ruthless reality of South African rugby in 2025. For Italy, they aren't coming to Loftus simply to roll over. They started their tour perfectly as they dismantled Namibia last week and have shown real progress under Gonzalo Quesada over the past 2 seasons in the Six Nations. But Loftus is a fortress for South African rugby, with their win rate being nearly 80%, with a lot of those losses coming against all-time great All Blacks and Wallabies teams. This isn't just about beating Italy for the Boks, however. It's about reasserting their dominance and the standard they've set over the past 6 seasons, bringing dominance, physicality and composure under pressure, which is something Rassie really values. While all of this unfolds in Pretoria, a new chapter begins down under in Dunedin. In Scott Robertson's second season in charge, it feels like a real turning of the page when you look at what he has done in terms of this opening test match in the Lipo-Viden D July series. Starting with his selections, we think they're quite bold and refreshing. There are 4 debutants in the 23. Starting with Fabian Holland, the Dutch-born lock who moved to New Zealand at age 16 to trace the most unlikely of all black dreams. He will start in the second row in what is a really nice rugby story. At number 8, Christian Leo Willie gets the nod, with Ardi Sevilla shifting back to the open side, which is a really cool move to have a look at. Ollie Norris and Duplessis Karifi wait on the bench, ready to earn their first test caps after some incredible form throughout the Super Rugby Pacific season. But the biggest talking point is not a refreshing take. It's Beauden Barrett starting at fly half, edging out Damian McKenzie despite McKenzie's blistering Super Rugby season. Robertson has put his faith in the highly experienced Barrett, and that choice will always be debated when it comes to the selection between these two playmakers. France arrive in New Zealand with 20 uncapped players, but you can't really call them a B team. They have so much depth in French rugby at the moment. They've beaten New Zealand 3 times in a row. They're dangerous, they're young, and they're hungry, looking to lay down a marker to become full-time squad members. This match also marks the return of the Dave Gallagher Trophy, and the All Blacks will be out to reclaim it, right where they last beat France at the Forsyth Bar Stadium. Whether you're watching for Tshituka's debut or Holland's dream come true, FloRugby has you covered for every piece of the action this weekend. As we touched on, we also have that remarkable series between Argentina and England, which could be just a highly fascinating test match. So for US rugby fans and US territory rugby fans, all of this action will be live streamed on FloRugby. We'll obviously have all of the highlights and the full replays after the matches if you miss any of them with the awkward kickoff times. So check out the FloRugby subscription packages. And if you enjoyed this video, leave us a comment about what you're most looking forward to seeing this weekend. Is it those 4 debutants in the All Black squad, or are you looking forward to seeing if Italy can turn the tables on the Boks at the most unlikely of stages? So please feel free to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and thanks again for checking out this video.